seems to be a fresh attempt at fighting rampant graft and bureaucracy in public procurement. The government has unveiled a new code of ethics set to govern the conduct of procurement officers as well as suppliers. The code, developed by the Public Procurement Oversight Authority, provides the rules of engagement between procurement agents and suppliers in an effort to curb corruption.
The Jubilee administration under President Uhuru Kenyatta has been grappling with massive graft allegations to a point that the president had to take a stand and declare corruption a national security threat.
70% of corruption in our country is basically in the procurement department. And the procurement department involves none other, because government does not do business with itself, it does business with the private sector.
The rampant corruption in the public sector has to a great extent tainted Kenya's standing on the global stage as investors shy away from conducting business with the country.
Private sector must play their role as well. For every taker, there is a giver.
But following a presidential directive to the National Treasury to develop a code of ethics, there appears to be some hope. The new code of ethics, drafted by the Public Procurement Oversight Authority, mirrors the anti-bribery bill prepared by the private sector, or the admission that it played a major part in rampant corruption.
The sector are perhaps one of the biggest perpetrators of corruption. We also recognize that there is an inadequacy of legislation for dealing with private sector corruption. Most of the legislation is focused on public sector legislation.
Part of the code demands that every company seeking to work with the government, both at the national and county level, will have to sign and abide to an approved business code of ethics. Any business that fails to comply with the code will be disqualified from doing business with government for a period not less than 5 years, and the information will be made public. The disqualification will not only apply to the business entity, but also to its directors. The coming into force of the code is expected to step up personal integrity among procurement officers who have over the years been branded as being at the core of perpetuating corruption. The objective of the code is to set minimum standards of ethical behavior for suppliers to ensure compliance with the Act and the regulations and the adoption of good business practices. The code is quite definitive on integrity. Abiagina, KTN Business.